All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about percent of a number, okay? Uh, and there's a couple things that I want to point out, okay? I know some of you that were in school today, okay, or I guess technically yesterday. I talked about the part and whole, okay? And when I'm talking about part and whole, just want to kind of give a little, and I did this on the Google Meet as well, okay? But when we're talking about, let's say a fraction, well, I don't want to use that one. Okay, we're talking about a part out of a whole, okay? So 3/4, okay? Your top number is your part, okay? Your bottom number is the whole, okay? So if we had 4/4, okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that's a whole, okay? That makes 1, all right? So we can think of it in terms of a pizza, okay? So this is a whole pizza, but it's divided up into what? Fourths, okay? So this 4 makes the whole pizza. That's why it is the whole, okay? Now, if we're talking about in terms of, well, we ate 3 pieces. Well, we ate 3 out of the whole. We ate 3 pieces of pizza, 3 slices out of the 4 total. Okay? So this is part of the pizza. All right? And you can see that right here. Okay? So this is part of the pizza. 3 parts of the whole, which was divided into fourths. Okay? Now, this is important to understand because what I'm fixing to show you and tell you about how to figure out how to do these percents of a number. Okay? And when I talk about them, it's going to make more sense. Okay? So, I know you all don't have these on Google Classroom, okay, but it's not going to hurt you to write these, okay? It's not a great big list of words. It's not a big paragraph to write. It's just some short sentences, okay? Not even really a full sentence, just a short question, all right? So just kind of get this in your head, a part and the whole. So 3 parts out of the whole, which was divided into 4 pieces, okay? All right. So let's get into this. All right, keeping that part and whole up in your head. Okay. Now, all right. So let's look at number 1. What is 73% of 97? Okay. Well, whenever we see the word is, what follows that is going to be talking about the part. Okay? So 73% is part of, okay? Of is another key word. Anything that is after of, well, that's our whole. Okay? So technically this is divided into 97. So this is our whole. Okay? So what is part of the whole? Here's our part, 73%, and 97 is the whole. Okay? Now, this helps us set it up. Okay? Now, this says 73%. We're going to use something called the percent equation. Okay? And we're going to see this later, but we're going to go ahead and use it now. So the percent equation is P is equal to N times W. Okay? Now this N, and I'll show you what these represent. P, that's our part. Okay? N, if we're talking about percent, is our percent. Okay? And W, well, it's the whole. Okay? Now, I know I told you that 73% is the part, but if it is talking about, if it says 73% or it's written 73 with the percent sign, we're going to place that with the where the percent's supposed to go. Okay? Now, in this case, in the percent equation that we're going to use, you need to change that 73% into a decimal. Okay? We need to change that into a decimal. So let's just look at, we want to know what is part of 97. Okay? So we don't know P. We want to know the number. Okay? We do know 73%. So 73% as a decimal, just divide that 73 by 100. Okay? 0.73. Okay? And we're going to times it by the whole. Well, of, the number after of, 97. Okay? Now we get here, we just multiply the two together. Okay? That's what that dot is right there, multiplication. Alright? Now, seeing that we're starting to use variables more, we do not put that X. Don't put in XW, because that looks like a variable now, so we have to use the dot. Okay? So 0.73, 73%, times 97, okay, will give us 70.81. So what is 73% of 97? Well, we're going to use that percent equation. Okay? We're going to put in our percent, 73%, as a decimal. Put in our whole, and we know that's the whole because it's after of. Okay? 97, we're going to multiply those two together. So 73% of 97 is 70.81. Okay? Now, the reason I put the part up here, okay, above that 73%, well, one is because it says is, all right? Anything after is the part. Anything after of is the whole, okay? But a percentage, a percent is part of 100, okay? So 73 is part of 100. So that's why percent and part kind of go hand in hand a little bit, okay? All right, so let's look at this one. Let's get another one of these. What is 96% of 36? Okay. So we got is again, right? We have our 96%. Okay, and we have of 36. Okay, so what is, so this is our, basically saying this is our part. So what part of 36 is 96%? So again, all right, we got 96%. We're going to use our percent equation. We know our percent, so we put it in decimal form, and we times it by, well, of 36. Okay? And that's going to equal our part, because right now, what, all right, I know I told you that whatever after is your part, but that's your percent, okay? So the what, a number is 73% of 97, okay? So that's going to be our part on the front part of this right now. So 0.96 times 36 is 34.56. Okay? All right, let's look at number 6 here, okay? And I'll explain it a little bit differently. All right, so 67 is, oh, I knocked it over. All right, so 67 is 85%. Well, 85% we know is what? N of what number? Okay, I already told you that's the whole. So 67 is part of the whole. Okay, do you see why I put the part over here? Okay, because this is saying 67 is part of this number. Okay, so that means 67 is the part now. All right, so we're going to use our percent equation. P equals N times W. Okay, we're going to put 67 in for P because that's what our part is equal to 85%. That needs to be in decimal form, so just take 85 divided by 100. Okay, times W. All right. All right, now we've already done a little bit of this. This is a one-step equation, okay? A one-step equation. So we can take this one-step equation and solve it. We have to get W by itself because we want to know the whole. We want to know what that is. So we're going to take our coefficient, all right, the number with the variable, and we're going to divide that on both sides, okay? When you divide these two, that makes 1, so that just basically leaves us with W. Okay. Now we have 67 divided by 0.85. So we do 67. Okay. We'll do divided by. You can either do 0.85 or 0.85. Okay. All right. And then just hit enter. Now, for right now, we're just rounding to 2 decimal places. So we're going to look at, we got 78.8. We're going to look at this one right here. That's a 2. This next one over, that third decimal place, that's a 3. So that 2 is just going to stay the same. It's not over 5. Okay? So 78.82. Okay? So that's the part, or that's the whole. All right, let's go down to the next one. 68 is 54% of what number? Of what? Okay, so 68 is part of what number? So when I read it like that, 68 is part of what number? Well, if 68 is the part, I got to put it in for P. All right, so 68 is the part. I know my percent. Okay. It's 54. I got to change that 54 to a decimal. So 54 divided by 100. And then I'm going to times it by what's after of? The whole, right? So I'm going to times it by W. Okay. Again, I want to do a one-step equation here to solve. I want to get my coefficient, which is 0.54, away from W, so I'm going to divide it on both sides. Okay. And all I'm left with, I'm going to write it over here. I have W on one side by itself, and then I have 68 divided by 5.4 or 0.54. Sorry, 68 divided by 0.54. Okay. I'm going to hit equals. All right. Now we're going 2 decimal places. Excuse me. We're going 2 decimal places, so I got 125.9. I'm going to look at my second one, so that's a 2. Now whether I got to round up or down is determined by that third one, okay? So that's 5. So I got to round that 2 up to a 3. Okay? So 125.93. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Now we're going to do one. Now, see, we've done one where we had the percent and the whole. Or we've done 2. We've done 2 where we had the part and the percent. Now we're going to kind of jump down here, okay? We're going to work on knowing the part and the whole and finding the percent, okay? Okay, so if we are ever finding the percent of a number, okay, well, we found the percent, or we've done some different things, finding the parts and finding the whole, okay? But if we're really wanting to find the percent of a number, okay, we're going to use the part divided by the whole, okay? So if we go back and look, okay, at what I've said up here about of and is, okay, so what percent of, there's of, what's after of? What did I tell you all up here? What is that? That's the whole, okay? And I told you, unless it says percent afterwards, after is will be your part, okay? So what percent of 59 is 50? Okay? So I'm going to take my part, which is 50, and I'm going to divide it out of my total number of whatever I'm talking about. In this case, it's 59. Okay? When I get it here, that looks like a fraction, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to do 50 divided by 59. Okay? 50 divided by 59. I'm going to get a decimal. And this kind of goes on for a second. Okay? Now, what I do with this decimal, I got to convert it back to a percent. Now, we worked on that yesterday. So I'm going to take this number, okay, and I don't have to do anything else. I'm just going to leave that number there, and I'm going to say times, all right, so that answer times 100. Try to figure out where I wrote it. Okay, so now I got times 100. So I got 84.7. All right, we're going 2 decimal places. 74.7. Well, there's my second decimal place. So I got to look at that next number, see if I got to stay the same or go up. Well, that's a 5. So that 4, it's got to round up. Okay. And then, once I timed my decimal by 100, I turned it into a percent. So 84.75%, okay? So 50 is 84.75% of 59, okay? All right, let's see here. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do this one right here, okay? Now, it's going to be pretty quick. So, of, that next one is the whole. Is, that next one is the part. Unless it says percent out from it or has the percent symbol, okay? So, I told you we're going to do the part divided by the whole. So 77 divided by 89. 77 divided by 89. Okay. We got to take that, times it by 100. Okay. And that gives us our percent. So that was 0.86516. All right. Times it by 100. Okay. Which makes it 86.5. Rounding 2 decimal places. The 1 is in the second. We got to look at that next one. So that's a 6. That 1 has to go up to a 2. And that's when we put our percentage on it. Okay? Now, you'll have more of these examples on your assignment today. Okay? So we'll get that worked out and get you going on it. Okay? All right. Have a good day.